What you're seeing here is a colony of Aphaenogaster lamellidans feeding on a cricket. The reason I'm showing you this for the decor options is because this is what you're going to see the majority of the time you're interacting with your ants. Of course, you're going to look at them inside the nest from time to time, take photos and videos, but this is where you get to see them without really intruding too much. You just walk by and glance to see what's going on. You're feeding them, putting dishes inside, taking dishes out, using liquid feeders, doing a lot of stuff, keeping it clean, maintenance, a lot of maintenance involved in this. So when we design and come up with our foraging areas, it's important to take into account all these things that we're doing with them. So the biggest thing we do is we try to minimize the clutter as a whole. Now, some people really like the extra decor inside, more stones, more artificial plants, more wood, more of everything, and that's fine. We have no problems with accommodating people in that regard. But when you request those additions and you do decide you want more clutter, just realize that it's going to make it difficult to clean and do the maintenance. Ants are very opportunistic, and they'll stuff trash inside of little plastic plants, any kind of crack, any narrow gap. They're really intent, it seems, in my experience, on keeping the trash in an area where they don't come into contact with it too much, or it can kind of hide, and they can reduce the amount of mold that develops on that food. That's just their natural instinct. Of course, you're going to be helping them out by cleaning, and they don't know that. So we generally design foraging areas with a lot of open space, while trying to maximize the look of it by using high quality rocks and branches and plastic plants. We do recommend for beginners into the hobby that the white sand is and the golden sand that you're looking at in this video here. The white sand is excellent for highlighting problem areas that you need to vacuum out. So we recommend the white sand, and that's the desert mountains. But you can also substitute that white sand in for any of the decor options. Say you wanted to do a rocky woodland style with a white sand flooring, no problem. Just make sure you leave us a comment. Sometimes we have those options already there for you to select. But that's something, especially for beginners, to really get an idea of how much trash their ant colonies discard and where it is. The white sand highlights it very well, makes it very easy for you to clean. And some of the other backdrops, like the tardy lance substrate that we recommend for some habitats, is a little bit darker, and some of that trash can be hidden a little bit from the untrained eye. So here's one of those I mentioned with a sand background, is the desert mountains. Then another one, the desert stones with the natural colors. Then the desert stones with the bone rocks. Desert stones with the terracotta color rocks. And then the forest underbrush. This is one of our most popular ones. We spend a lot of time trying to arrange the artificial plants and the wood and the stone that you see, like here, just to give you enough open room and to also make it look more natural as well. This is the grassland. I like this a lot for my Formica colony. This is their kind of their natural habitat if I go outside and I see them. The great tree. This is really cool for being able to place feeding dishes on top of. This is a great tree with extra decor. You can see it gets really crowded. But with that one, this one is not a bad idea because you always have that flat spot. This is the rocky woodland. It's kind of like the opposite of the forest underbrush. This is more stones, fewer plants, and then of course usually one wood piece, and then another example of the rocky woodland as well. The valley style foraging area. These can be different substrate types. They can be white sand, like you see this one with the great tree. And these take a lot more time, so that's why you're going to see a little bit more cost involved in purchasing one. So these take a lot more time to design. They obviously take a lot more time to make. It's like 4 times because you have 4 surfaces you're working with, the bottom and then the 3 sides. And we always are a fan of doing anything you request special, like minimal,